everybody. Thank you for joining us live. If you're watching live, this is Where Is This Going? A podcast about artists that you may not know, but will soon hopefully grow to appreciate at the very least. We are, once again, live here at the Stooge here in Zealand or whatever. And we are blessed to have in the studio the ever so beautiful Mr. Chad Showtime Schultz.
Thank you. When the fuck did I get beautiful? I haven't talked to my mom in a while, so no one's really told me.
Well, that's what I'm here for, Chad.
Hunter.
That's how I will always describe you. Beautiful and beautifully talented and or funny. But yeah, you are funny. Chad is a local comedian here in Grand Rapids. Very funny stand-up. And if you're watching or if you're listening or if you're watching and you can't tell, Chad's blind.
Yes.
I don't know if you would be able to see that. If you would be able to see that while you're watching the video.
We're just going to assume they're as blind as I am and let them know that I, in fact, don't see very well.
Because this is also audio.
Yes.
And that's not very, it's not super important, except for Chad's the only blind comedian I know. So
I used to think I was the only blind comedian around, and then I actually got tagged one time on Michigan Comics Network is a Facebook page where we all get our fucking gigs, and it's all dramatic. But someone
it's
had
all dramatic.
It really is,
especially now
when there's no shows to be had, but we're still fighting.
Right.
But someone posted there one time. He goes, "Hey, I'm looking for a blind comedian for a fundraising gig." And I got tagged a few times, which I appreciated, but I was also really disheartened at the 8 other people that got tagged. What the fuck, guys?
Right.
I'm supposed to be the only blind funny person in this state. Fuck off.
Also, why haven't you reached out to me? We could start a group.
Yeah, we could start our own blind comedy justice league. I can be Daredevil, and they can be Daredevil, and the next guy can be Daredevil.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot of representation.
No, it's really not. There's only one. So, again, we're going to pretend you're as blind as I am. I'm actually wearing a Daredevil t-shirt right now. Yes. There's not a lot of blind representation in the media. So if you're a nerd like me, and if you had bad vision growing up, you probably are. You really had to lean on one guy in a red suit jumping around 8 fucking square blocks of fucking New York City.
Which made no sense because he was blind, but that's all you could identify with.
Exactly. It's all you really got. I am walking around Meijer one time. This was when my mom still was telling me I was beautiful and taking me to go grocery shopping.
Nice.
Nice.
Simpler times.
Exactly.
Simpler times.
And I'm walking around and I still have some vision. It's going away, but for the moment I have some. And what appears to be a 6'6", the comic book guy from The Simpsons. It was also his day to go grocery shopping. We're passing him in the aisle, and I've got Daredevil, just the logo shirt on, just the 2 D's on my chest as opposed to the 2 D's under my shirt. I've still got some man boobs going on.
It's okay. We're all recovering. But you also, being a big Daredevil fan, you have multiple Daredevil shirts.
Yeah, I do. So this situation, I'm walking by this guy, and he gives me a nod and a grin, and just goes, "Well played, man," and walks on. And my mom goes, "What's that about?" And I go, "Oh, it's my shirt." She's like, "How do you know?" I go, "Because there's nothing else it could be. I'm not crushing it in anything else right now, Mom. I'm 24. You are who you are. He's not going, congratulations on the bitch.
Right? Yeah. Hey, nice piece, bro.
Yeah.
Oh. There's nothing else interesting about me, Ma.
Yeah, I'm a blind man in a Daredevil t-shirt. That's the only thing there is to look at right now.
He's like, hey, you can see that much.
Yeah,
Clever.
Well, here's the thing. I like to think when people see me in a Daredevil shirt, they either go, that guy's either got the best sense of humor or the worst friends.
Yeah.
Because he's either
dressing him.
Yeah, he's either leaning into it or someone handed him a bunch of Daredevil shirts and what they said was a Hanes 12-pack. And he's just walking around as a
that's all he owns.
The next one are a bunch of Stevie Wonder t-shirts.
Christmas is an awful time.
Fucking all I got to hear on the radio is, "Do you see what I see?" Fuck off. That's all I have to say about that.
Some people hate Christmas music for not the same reason, but you know what? None more valid than the other. Chad, so did you grow up here in Grand Rapids?
I am. We're in Zealand right now. I grew up 30 minutes down the road in Hudsonville.
Onion.
Most churches per square capita I've been prayed on to cure my eyes a lot. It's never once worked.
Is that your cause for not your faith? Or
it's a big part of it. When you get because it's kind of shitty, but like when that happens, like I've been in front of churches where they pray on you to fix your eyes, and then 2 days later when they're not better, they just go, well, if you'd quit jerking off every night, God would actually fix them.
This is the sin in your life.
Exactly. It suddenly becomes my problem when your dirty fucking just did communion hands can't cure my blindness. Suddenly I'm a heathen. Maybe you're just not Jesus. Have you considered that?
Maybe you are not anointed.
Yeah.
Maybe it's you.
Yeah. Is it possible that, okay, there's however many people tried to cure me today by touching me.
Right.
Is it possible that all of you are wrong? Is it not me?
But also, it's easier to point at one than 33.
Absolutely, and I am jerking off every night. Like if that really is what's keeping me from it, then I guess they're right.
Yeah, they're not wrong. So I mean, who's to say? Maybe I could take. You ever think about that? Maybe you could take a little responsibility for your blindness, Chad.
I like to blame the Marlboro cigarettes that were being smoked when I was a baby.
Wait, when you were a baby or
like
in utero?
A fetus.
Okay.
Yeah, baby by Republican standards. Keeping it topical.
Hey. All right, so you grew up in Hudsonville, the
Yeah.
Salad Bowl of West Michigan.
Yes.
I think it's actually called Michigan Salad Bowl.
The Salad Bowl City of Michigan.
Okay, cool. I wanted to sound relevant as well. I just know it smells like onions specifically.
Onions are cow shit, depending on the morning.
Depending on the season. Did you go to Unity Christian or you go to Hudsonville?
I went to Hudsonville High, which is, I always said, the closest thing to a Christian school you could get to without actually going to a Christian school.
That's interesting.
My biology teacher used to give us like what like the science book would say, and he'd be like, but remember, science is all adherent to God, so just keep that in mind with everything. I thought about writing it on one of my tests one time.
I don't know, whatever God says.
Yeah, whatever. And on the third day, God said, let's create fucking whatever zoo animal we're writing about right now. I don't know what the fuck. I'm going to go
This is biology now, okay?
Yeah. No, we used to, it was like a horrible, like homophobic, like, I didn't have an easy time in high school, but like I felt really bad for anybody else. It was like, if you were like gay or like any other kind of like sinful different.
Yeah.
People would just shit all over. Like it was just, I really would love to go back and do comedy in Hudsonville.
Right.
It would feel like, it just would feel a little bit like a homecoming.
Yeah.
And I'm probably not going to go to my high school reunion, but if I do,
ooh,
I want to see if I'm going to be like, it's going to try to get,
set?
I'm going to try to get 15 minutes of my high school reunion.
Can I MC this reunion? That'd be cool. I know. I can keep the show going.
I MC'd my talent show my senior year. It would seem appropriate.
Oh yeah. So how was your sight in school?
So I was always told growing up that if I just went into life expecting not to drive, that's the worst it would be. That my eyes were always going to be bad enough to where driving would be irresponsible. So don't expect to do that, and it's fine. But I wasn't supposed
to expect to ever drive.
Yeah, that was it. That's a lot to deal with, especially like 14, 15, 16 when kids are learning. But like I wasn't supposed to need to learn how to use a cane. So
doctors were wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
The worst it's ever gonna get is you're just gonna have to Uber.
Yeah, you're just learn to take a bus. Yeah, and they were wrong. I learned to use it in school because I do have what's called night blindness. So basically, my eyes don't take in the right amount of light.
Yeah.
So
we had a friend like that in middle school. His name was Sky, and our trip to Mackinac, we beat him with pillows in the middle of the night because he couldn't see where it was coming from.
So I'm actually really happy to hear that. I feel bad for Sky, but I'm glad it happened to somebody else too.
Exactly. Yeah. No, he had great friends.
Just beat the shit. Glasses wearing motherfuckers. You just
no,
throw
he
me a
didn't even
blanket.
wear glasses. This was mostly his fault. I'm not victim shaming, but the thing is, we knew it going into because he had slept over at my house for a birthday party. And so we had the knowledge of his night blindness, and we were like, we want Sky in our room on this trip. And it wasn't for that pure fact, but...
I mean, these are the stories I listen to and go, I'm really glad I didn't have friends in high school.
Yeah, see, that's what Friends brings you.
Yeah, no, I like to think that like you guys are just like throwing them like you just put like the soap bars in the fucking pillowcases like you got caught eating a donut by Harley Irving the night before.
But we could just like do it one at a time and then run around too. It like elongates the situation, makes it a lot funnier.
You guys 2 hours later, someone you go to the bathroom, it's locked. You just hear him and going 357 Full Metal. Like, shit, we done fucked with the wrong blind guy. He's going to miss. Yeah. Don't worry. It's fine.
This is the wrong 12-year-old. Holy shit.
But like,
I'm so sorry.
I learned... You should apologize to Sky. You didn't...
Oh, no, I've apologized to Sky for many of things.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That specifically,
and maybe not. Maybe. But he also is at, like, last time I saw him was at a Black Lives Matter rally. So I say... Whatever I did to him, he turned out
Gotcha. Well, you know, at the time you wouldn't go into like a Black Eyes Matter rally. Like you just beating the fuck. It wasn't. This fucking sucks. This is live. I'd take that back if I could. That wasn't worth swinging at.
Black Eyes Matter. I like that.
Quit beating up disabled people. That's much more. That's the point of this rant. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was a domestic
no, God,
campaign.
That's why I wanted to put it back. I immediately go, I shouldn't have swung at that.
So how did you learn how to use the cane?
So they paid for me in school to learn how to use it because again, I didn't see at night.
Right.
And I really wanted to play football in high school and I wanted to wrestle in high school. I've been a big old fat guy my entire life. I wanted to use it for some good, maybe get
big
laid
old
with it.
Fat guy. I needed you to enunciate that.
Big old fat guy.
Okay.
And the only way girls pay attention to you as a big old fat guy in high school is if you're on the wrestling team and the football team.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom and
That's
dad,
weird.
My mom and dad said no to both of those things because also my eyes are a really funny shape. Like they're just shaped weird. So if you were to hit me really hard in the back of the head, it would probably make me go completely blind pretty easily.
Right. Like
it'll just
quicken the process.
Quick, turn them off.
Yeah.
And they go, well, Chad, you can't.
It's like a light switch,
like you want to play these sports, but is it worth going blind over? And then literally 2 weeks into college, my vision took a rapid decrease, and I will be completely blind here in a couple of years. I started going blind at 18.
Jeez.
28 now. I'll probably be completely blind if I'm being optimistic and it's hard to be, going blind by like my early 30s. I've probably got a few years left.
Make the most of it.
I really this is probably as sappy as I'm gonna try to get, but like I did make myself a promise when I thought I was gonna be completely blind that like I stop and try to look at like the beauty and everything. Like I really try to make it a point to like, I'm never gonna get 30 years worth of vision, so let's try to fit as much as I can into 30th. And that's like also why I justify my porn consumption the way I do. Because you got to really pack that spank bank, if you will.
Exactly.
Because, one day I'm just going to be fucking in the darkness. So let's try to.
Right.
It really. And I really try to be careful about like the porn I watch just because it's all I'm going to have one day.
Exactly. And you don't want to get the wrong memory files.
I don't get into like the creepy or like the gross porn. Like the stuff that's meant for gross effects.
Only the good memories.
Only the good ones. Because I don't want to, be whatever woman ends up having me. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be fucking her and have her cut a fart one day and think of that scat video I saw one time. I don't want to.
And that's what's gonna make me come. Like
that. Yeah, no, I would hate for that to suddenly be my thing.
Yeah, not to kink shame at all, but we don't want it.
Yeah, no, I'm willing to go out on that limb there. We don't want it.
I don't want it personally. That's tough to deal with, especially because then it's hard to deal with like negativity and stuff that you see online and things like that when you only want to see and remember if like your site's going, you only want to see and remember wholesome stuff and have good memories. And I can see how 2020 is really rough with that. Just seeing hate.
Yeah, no,
that's what the internet has done. It's given most of us, the ability to see hate in like almost physical form, and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
shit sucks.
It really does kind of suck to have it feels like there's a clock running in my head of like, all right, this is how much time you get with vision, and like it sucks because like I'm probably never gonna know what my kids look like.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna have them, but if I do, like there's a very good chance I'll never know what my kids are gonna look like.
Is there any regret in like not just banging a couple out in high school?
I mean, I tried. There's some regret that maybe I didn't make myself less gross sooner. Like there's plenty there, but like you work with what you know at the time.
Right. I thought the doctors lied to me. Okay.
Yeah, no. If I'd have known that 30 was the cap, I'd have been like, you know what? Maybe showering and working out would have been a bit more important sophomore year.
Yeah,
That's all.
That's really the turn of manhood is sophomore year. I don't care when puberty starts, but socially and almost physically for everyone, sophomore year makes or breaks a human being. That's my full opinion. Maybe I lean too much on high school, but
I mean, it's where guys like you and I peaked. Like
exactly,
it is what it is.
Exactly. 16 years old was the best time of my life. You were dealing with a lot of sadness because no license for you, but I'm sorry.
I mean, I'll be honest.
That sounded way too mean.
It's okay.
I heard it.
Honestly, I feel like the lack of license has a lot to do with honestly why I've struggled with girls a little bit, because like there's a certain amount of like, if I want to go out with a girl, she's either got to pick my ass up or I got to Uber somewhere, and it's not like I never get the I'm home alone in bed, swing by call, because it's like all right, cool, I gotta find an Uber real quick, or like it's just
I'll let you know if
booty calls are hard when you can't drive.
Yeah, I would imagine if they're not in walking distance in a well lit area.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I really gotta like we come over. My parents are home. Well, I gotta cross division for that, babe. I don't.
I might need my parents.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't have money for an armed escort right now. I gotta.
You know what? That is something I think to invest in the future.
An armed escort,
or just a roommate. Like it could be either one. You can call it whatever, but maybe financially and I think availability's sake, I just get a roommate and then have them take you places.
I mean, I could definitely make that work. It definitely is one of those where like I have to work it out in like the lease deal where like, all right, so you take care. I cook and I pay the electric bill. You do the dishes, and when pussy is calling, it's your responsibility to make me get there. All right. I feel like we could write that up.
If you want this home to work in if you want to live in a happy home,
if you want a happy roommate, you make sure I get to it.
This one condition. It's one condition, and I'm offering to cook for you. Like I don't see why that's not reasonable at all.
I like the way you think, Hunter. Are you looking for a roommate?
No. I got a family to feed, man. Come on. I can't be getting up all hours of the night.
I'll cook for them.
Touche. I'll run it by the lady. So after high school, you went to college, right?
I went to a semester and a half at Grand Valley.
Okay. Close by. I had to live on campus because I couldn't commute back and forth. Right.
I actually probably would have made it longer if I could have. I'm a big proponent that we need to get city buses out into small towns like Hudsonville.
Yeah.
I went to a town meeting in Hudsonville as I was dropping out, and I was like, hey, I'm dropping out of college right now because I can't maintain a full schedule, and I can't be a part-time student and live on campus.
Right.
If you guys would extend the bus route out into Hudsonville, I could be a part-time student, still go to college. As a disabled young man, this would be super helpful to me.
Right.
And then the Tea Party of Hudsonville showed up and said that they didn't want to spend their taxes on that, and they didn't, and I dropped out of college.
Also, you know what? They had their reasons, Chad. I think everyone, there's good people on both sides. No. That is upsetting. That is super upsetting. And once again, a very reasonable request, because Zeeland has like the Max bus that goes like through Holland. I think that's it. Like
it's not
Zeeland and Holland.
What's that get you up to? Maybe the lake shore if you want to
maybe
go to the beach and
won't go that far.
You can go get your racist hot dogs up there.
Yeah.
In the fucking...
you're not going to Grand Haven.
Oh shit! I forgot it's in Grand. The racist hot dogs are in Grand.
It's
Haven,
all the lake
Holland.
shore. It all looks the same.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I love you, Chad.
I love you too, buddy.
So, yeah, and that is because the bus does go from the Rapid will go from Allendale to Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
So
you read it for free as a student.
Yeah, maybe your parents should have just moved. You ever think of that,
I
Chad?
mean, my parents probably should have did a lot of things up to and including not beating me, but there's no reason to unpack all that right now. This is not even going to be kind of a long enough podcast for that.
I'm only here to shift blame. That's. I don't care. I don't care if it's on me or not. I'm moving it.
Whatever you're currently blaming, I want to be somewhere else at the end of this.
I
Doesn't
just,
need to be right
I just want
or
you
wrong.
to think that you were wrong for some reason. So you left GV at what, like 20 years old?
I was 19.
19.
Honestly, if we talk about like regret, if I could go back and tell myself anything, it would be either 1, start showering at 13,
yes,
or two, don't drop out of college, because I did fortunately get my college reimbursed because I dropped out due to a disability. It was like a 6-year annoying process that I do a whole bunch of reporting on,
which a lot of people would not even put in the effort.
It really wasn't worth it. I'll be honest, but
it was like $1,300.
It was, yeah. If I broke down the amount of headache I spent, I probably would have been just cheaper paying it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
No, I would have told myself like, hey, don't drop out because that shit's gonna get paid for. Just stick with it as long as you can and like have some fun. Because
hindsight's 20/20.
Mine's more like 20/80. But when regular sight's 2,800, it is what it is.
Either way, hindsight's
like,
better.
There's a lot of like deep cut vision jokes out there. There's an ophthalmologist right now just laughing his ass off.
If he ever found the balls to watch this show, he hasn't got them. No, I don't know why I would say that. This isn't like a risky show to watch. I
was like, is something illegal about to happen?
I don't know. I was looking for something if he ever found a link, but then I just went with balls. It was a default. I don't know what I'm doing.
Hunter, what's your default?
Balls. It's my default thought. Deep cut vision jokes. All right. So you leave at 19. Yeah, I also would have told myself to stick with college, or actually to go to a different college, if I'm being frank. Those are my biggest regret years.
When I decided to drop out, I was sitting in a music appreciation class that I was not appreciating.
Yes, much like most people.
And I literally stood up and walked out of class. I was like, I don't fucking want to do this. I'm wasting a bunch of money. And I went into like the office, and I was like a week away from the full refund date for that semester. And I was like, well, I want to get my full refund, but I was like, can I stay that full week? And they're like, yeah. And I had the best week of my life. I played video games. I talked to girls. Like I really wish I could have made it last. Yeah, that 1 week really made college for me, and then it was over, and I went back to Hudsonville and was sad for a while.
That's a rude homecoming.
It really was bittersweet. I had a lot of like forgiving of myself. I really felt like a failure for a while. Like
there.
It took a lot of like, hey, like life throws you curveballs. You just kind of keep it. To be honest, I didn't really start my adult life until I moved away again and moved to Grand Rapids, and I did that at 20.
So you only stayed back home in Hudsonville for a little bit.
A couple of months, and it was a situation where my home situation wasn't going great. So I had a Section 8. My Section 8 get pulled on a house out in Kentwood, and I went and moved to Kentwood with. I had 2 housemates. They both had developmental disabilities. Nice guys, but I really wasn't. It wasn't a good match.
Right.
One point, I literally had to teach them how to use the dishwasher. They had. I come out of my room and I smell smoke, and I'm like, all right, fuck, like what's going on? I'm walking around my kitchen smelling things. It's nothing's on fire, but I smell smoke.
Right.
Eventually, I get to the dishwasher, and they'd put like a dishwasher tablet in, but didn't take it out of the package. Ooh. So it's all our dishwasher doors all melted. So I'm cleaning that up, and I had to teach them how to use it. And they were really nice guys, but I felt like I was a bit more like a babysitter at certain points.
And that's not where you're.
And I was spending a lot of money to rent one room in a house. The best story that ever came out of that, though,
be a caretaker,
is one of my guys that lived there. He had like a caseworker that would come, and I come home one day after shopping, and there is a dude sleeping on our couch in like a suit. Oh. Like he looks like he just got done at the stock exchange and then just shot up some heroin and fell asleep on our couch. And I go up and I give the couch a kick. Dude, what the fuck are you doing in my house?
Story though.
Like, oh, sorry, man. I was looking for your roommate. I'm his caseworker. You go, buddy, he's at work right now, and he's not coming back for like 6 hours. You should know that. Oh yeah, I don't know. I was like, do you just come and nap in your like clients' houses while they're at work?
Is that legal?
No, I'm sure it's not. He took off pretty quick. To this day, I don't really know that. Honestly, it might have been that Martin Shkreli guy, that like the farmer bro. It could have been him for listening to that Wu-Tang album on my fucking couch. But that was how I
Just
scared.
got super stoned.
That was
out.
that was how I scared a guy in a business suit out of my fucking.
Hey, get out of my house! Why are you here?
What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, that's an imaginary. Did you ever see that guy? Like,
no, never saw him again.
Yeah, no, that's an imaginary caseworker. Like he was like, oh no, I'm social worker. I'm here for. Who are you?
Who are you? I'm thinking for you, right? You look sad.
You look sad.
You got those look like cut marks on your wrist. You need to talk to anybody, like, and I did, but
you look like you're in the government system. Looks like the government's got a hand on you.
Yeah, you look. Who are you? I'm from the government.
I'm from the government.
That's why I'm sleeping on the job.
I'm big government. Passed out, stoned on your couch.
But after that, I had another Section 8 get pulled, this time for downtown Grand Rapids, and I moved down there it was like 2 months before I turned 21, and that was honestly where life began for me. At that point, I'd never lived on my own. I still was relying on my parents for a lot of help with stuff. I'd never had sex before. Like there were a lot of things in my life I hadn't really started doing.
Right.
And at age 20, I went, okay, I live alone. I'm downtown. Let's get to learning things. And I learned how to make friends. You know, I've developed a social circle for the first time in my life.
Oh yeah.
I learned how to, I was losing my vision pretty dramatically at the time. As I had like a big drop off, so I'm learning how to be blind.
Right. It was tough to learn.
Yeah, no, it's an adjustment to go through life.
Life never teaches you how to go blind.
I missed the Judy Blume novel on losing one of your five senses. I missed that one in middle school. I feel like I would be much better prepared if I'd have read that one.
What if
they
only did it about like taste though? Like
Tales of the fourth grade snack that tastes like nothing.
I don't know. Wouldn't that be awful? But I understand it more.
Yeah, I did have a friend of mine one time, in whole seriousness, looks at me and goes, "At least you're not like really getting a disability, like losing your hearing. At least it's just your vision."
And it's not like all the way gone. I think you really need to try to look on the bright side.
Have you tried squinting on the bright side, Chad? Really putting that pinhole on it?
Just get really close to the bright side.
Really close to the bright side. Can we get the bright side in large print, please? Yes. Do you read Braille yet? No, but fine.
Can you read Braille? All right.
Yeah.
Bright side, bring it in here.
Yeah.
So after all this sadness and stuff, because what you just described, I'm gonna be frank, really fucking traumatic and sad. But I'm sure you've reached a point where you're like, no, comedy is where I need to go with this.
Well, so a couple of years later, I had tried out a different couple of friend groups. You know, I really got into Magic the Gathering for a while, which is, again, if you're looking to meet girls, not where you do that.
Right, but if you're looking to, is that your like base level social gatherings?
So I've always been a social person. So it was, even having not really had a lot of like friends or like social experience going through this really awkward time.
Right.
I was social enough to hang out with a bunch of Magic players.
Oh yeah.
I could play a card battle game and be the popular guy.
See, I don't think I could do that.
Maybe.
And I'm a very social person, but maybe okay. It's just for me. Those aren't my interests. That's actually the biggest problem. That's why I couldn't.
I can't imagine it would be.
But that'd be interesting. Wouldn't it make me seem more interesting?
If you played Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, I wanted to play D&D.
It would make you seem 20% less fuckable, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Still very fuckable.
Well, I'll take that. Thank you. Because when you take 20, when you take away 20%, that still leaves.
You're still like
80%.
You're 130% fuckable still, my man.
I'll take. Oh fuck! I'm still 110% fuckable after Magic. Okay. Anyways,
I want you to feel. He's gonna walk away from tonight going, man, that was a good interview. But I'm still 110% fuckable.
I'm still 110. Chad will still. He can't see, but he will still fuck me. And you know, I don't think he swings that way. So it might have just been a sentiment thing. But I appreciate it nonetheless.
Appreciate you too.
So How does Magic the Gathering translate? Sorry.
So eventually, I realized that I live next to Stella's. Like I literally share an alleyway with it.
Drunk in the Torque?
Yeah, and I'd been in there and I'd been kicking around doing comedy for a while, and I decided that was not the room I wanted to do it in.
Smart move.
I felt like it was. Here's the thing. I actually would like to perform that. I have some non-comedy poetry writing and stuff I do because I'm still very sad.
Right. No. Yeah.
But I felt like it would be really disrespectful.
For good reason.
I feel like I would be very disrespectful to their space to get up there and do. Most of my comedy, especially at that time, was still very hacky.
Yeah.
You know, still just my dick.
Jokes. Yeah.
Like, and I don't really want to, follow someone getting up there and, being like, I've seen the greatest minds of my generation, starved, beaten, naked. All right, now here's a blind guy to talk about how girls don't like him and talk about drinking Four Loko. Like, I'm just gonna ruin that environment.
Maybe you'll
for
get
them.
a kick out of this.
Yeah, no, it really. So I went down to Fulton Street around my birthday. I'm actually today. This day we're recording on December 13th is the 3-year anniversary of my doing comedy for the first time.
Can we get a hand clap? No. Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, I like the physical hand clap, but this is the only one we can hear.
For those on the other side of the computer screen, they were clapping in the other room like you could hear them.
But we
bunch of
appreciated
professionals here.
But so 3 years ago today, you started at Fulton Street Pub.
Yep, Fulton Street Pub, Hump Day Hilarity. I walked down in the middle of a goddamn blizzard because I decided I would. So I was.
Today's the day for change.
I was gonna do it the week before, but they were doing live music that day, and I had just I wasn't sure if I was ready that day, and I was talking to my therapist that afternoon, and she goes, "Hey, you were gonna do comedy on last Wednesday, right?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "What happened?" "Well, they were doing live music. Well, there was no open mic. Is there one this week?" "Yeah." "Well, you should just go do it." And I was like, I don't. She goes, "You should go do it." So I blame her for the last 3 years of my life. She bullied me into doing an open mic.
All this waste.
Yeah, all of the craziness, I blame on her.
That is great accountability.
I think she would think so too.
I think. Do you not agree? I resent the accountability, actually. I don't know what
this blame shifting thing.
Right.
Do you do this everybody? Is it just me?
Oh no, it's just fun tonight.
It's just fun. The flavor of the day is blame shifting.
Actually, no, I think I do it with everyone, but I think I'm just realizing it now.
Oh, so. I do tend to promote like a sense of like self-actuality, and when people talk to me, they go, "Holy shit! I just realized a bunch of things about myself."
You're a great mirror. What you can't see, others can see in themselves from you. Thank you, Chad.
That's I didn't know I ordered a fortune cookie. Like,
put it on your Tinder profile.
I mean,
I think it's a decent bio.
You think so?
My words, so I'm kind of biased.
That's fair. I've never really had a lot of luck on the old internet datings.
Really?
I honestly, what I get more of anything are girls that message me and want to ask about being blind, and then I tell them about it, and then they don't want to talk anymore. And it feels a little bit like being a zoo animal.
That is so weird.
So my favorite one, and I told this girl after this happened that I would talk about this on stage and I would talk about it in my act. So this one's for you, sweetheart. She
we'll throw her Instagram handle up right here.
She messages me. And this was on Reddit, and if you're looking to find women on Reddit, seek a therapist instead.
Yeah,
that's my advice.
Don't.
But what I was doing at the time. We talk about like growing and stuff as I moved downtown. Mm-hmm. There's a point where I had to learn how to talk to girls, right. And it was hard to meet girls with that much of I was 24, 25, learning how to talk to girls for the first time. So I went online to do it,
right? And
Reddit was a good way to do that, but you had to put up with a lot of the chaff and.
I feel like Reddit would not be even my sixth thought.
They were at my level, like, and that it was something I felt confident.
But Reddit is so anonymous.
That was the thing is I really wasn't afraid of being judged for like if it went badly it was anonymous.
Right.
So it was really.
Were you more of like a sapiosexual? Is that what that's called?
Sapio.
Sapiosexual. Were you? That's a weird way of putting it, but were you not like caring if it was a guy or a girl?
No,
were you just going
I was just gonna take them at their word. I wasn't planning on ever really meeting them anyway.
Right.
This was an opportunity for me to kind of find my confidence in that regard. I think that being disabled, and then also not, again, I didn't take great care of myself. I've lost 50 pounds in the past 2 years. Like I was pretty heavy. I wasn't, just a lot going on. I didn't feel like anyone ever saw me as an attractive or a sexual person. And it was hard to see myself that way. So if I get on this anonymous, this forum and kind of present myself that way, it would at least teach me how to be confident like that. And this girl messages me, and there's no, they don't see what I look like, which is a lot of why I was doing as well as I was.
Right.
And she messages me and she goes, I think I might know you. And I had described myself as like a blind DJ, a blind comic. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, are we playing coy? Like, maybe you do know me. And she goes, no, well, I hope not. Because, like, the person I'm thinking of is my brother. And I was like, well, I don't have a sister. Okay. So it can't be me. But I was like, I got to be honest. Like, I would be interested to meet your brother because I would like to meet another blind comic DJ. Like, that sounds like someone I'd like to talk to. And,
yeah, you're cool or whatever. But can I talk to your brother?
Can I talk to your brother? And she started going on about how like he's blind and that because of that she learned how to, and I quote, respect disabled people.
That's what it takes.
Yeah, to have family that's disabled. And then she proceeded to tell me that going blind wouldn't end my life, that I was gonna be just fine, but also that she didn't really want to talk anymore. That she didn't really want to like get to know me or anything. She just wanted me to know that going blind wouldn't be the end of the world, and she chose what was a dating forum to do that. And I had told her that I wanted her to let her brother know she did that, and that I was going to talk about her in my act, and he could explain to her why I was going to do that and what she'd done wrong.
Why other people were going to laugh
at why other people were going to laugh at her completely patronizing what was already a sad disabled man.
Yeah, it's very I can't think of the I do that often. Anyways, yeah, it's very situationally
dense.
Blind. I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't want to say it, but it's stupid. Anyways, I'm getting caught on that thought that now I can't figure out the word I was trying to. But did her words, although very patronizing, did the sentiment help at all?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not even in the slightest.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. I've kind of gone through my own healing process. It's been 10 years. I'm as ready for it as I can be. Mm-hmm. And there are still some days that are hard. And there, as my vision gets worse, it definitely gets harder as it gets worse. Mm-hmm. But I also find cool new things that like my other senses are definitely getting stronger.
That is something I didn't know if that was a myth or not.
It is completely true. I'm actually just now getting to the point where I feel like I could learn Braille if I tried. Ooh. My sense of touch is getting strong enough to where I've been. I like being open on these podcasts, and I've been working on this thing in therapy where I don't want to plan so much. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when I make decisions now, I just flip a coin. Mm. And on top of doing that, when I flip the coin, I don't read it with my eyes. I read it with my hand, and I want to see if I can tell. And I'm finding that's helping me learn to read things by touch, and then hopefully I'll learn to read Braille. Also, my sense of smell, sense of touch.
I definitely thought your sense of touch anecdote was going to go somewhere else. But I'm appreciative. That does remind me of, I think, Daredevil. And that's when I realized that coins had the ridge, like quarters have ridges on the side, nickels don't, which helps me smoking weed. But if you don't know, keep a nickel in your grinder, like the big compartment, and it helps get the keef off the screen into your keef catcher. Anyways,
that's a good tip.
You're welcome. And dimes also, I don't remember, but. And then I learned that was for blind people. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What
else is for
blind? Learned something about blind people for you.
Do you know what else is for blind people?
Oh, okay.
At the end of like a crosswalk where like
I thought you were gonna say the end of a movie.
The bumpy side, like the bumpy part of the sidewalk. It's for blind people, so you don't walk into.
I thought it was for skateboarders. I'm kidding.
I thought it was saving blind people from getting hit by cars and letting everyone watch skateboarders fall down.
Yeah, fall down into traffic.
That is
hopefully
objectively for the common good.
Yes,
I am happy to. Here's the thing. I would happily take those being there for blind people as second place if they really were there to just fuck up skateboarders as first place.
Fuck up more skateboarders. That's
hashtag fuck up more skateboarders.
They're not doing it to themselves quick enough. So 3 years ago, Achievement Unlocked.
Yes.
Debuted, stand-up comedy debut. And where has that gone since then? Where have you... How do you feel 3 years into comedy? Because I'm just a year and a half in, and I love it. Mm-hmm. I'm happy with where I am. I guess as a host of my own show, and I know that you're plugged in at what was Hump Day Hilarities, now Monday Night Comedy Mania.
Monday Comedy Mania, yes.
Monday Comedy Mania
at Fulton Street Pub and Grill. Yep.
Yes.
So in the 3 years I've been doing it, I've done comedy in multiple cities. I've had the occasional paid gig. I've written a bunch of material. I've had a lot of fun with it. I'll be honest, I would like to be a little further along than I am, but I think that anybody who's passionate about a career like this would feel that way.
Right.
You always want to be doing better. I've really enjoyed doing podcasts lately. Like I feel like I like to think that I'm really good at stand up, but I almost feel like I'm a little bit better at this.
Mm-hmm. Conversation,
long form. Honestly, when I was in college, I wanted to be going to psychology, and when that didn't work out, I changed my major to broadcasting. Oh. And I wanted to be on the radio. So this is kind of
Josh Potter.
Yeah.
You a fan? You aware?
I'm a little bit aware. I've heard the name.
He's got a little bit more sight than you, I believe, but that means you're surpassing him in some aspects.
I'm becoming a more powerful blind man.
Exactly.
I should look into him.
Yeah. I think he's pretty funny. Anyways.
No, and I
not to derail you.
No, you're good. I helped book the show at Fulton Street. You know, I honestly, if you're in the inbox, trying to get booked, I'm the one you're dealing with. I make the lineups every week. I try to learn as much as I can about the comedy business, whether doing stand-up, doing the more podcasting aspect of it, making lineups, booking shows. I want to learn as much of it as I can, and I try to get out there every single week to do it. Right. And I'm really passionate about it, and I want to make it because I want to do comedy. I want to be rich and famous, but I also want the platform that being rich and famous in this country gives you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can sit here and talk about for an hour or two or whatever, all the experiences of being a disabled man in America. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that stuff is funny, and I try to put a funny spin on it. But there's a lot of stuff that people don't understand. Mm-hmm. And I would really like the platform to talk about those things and have people listen. Because in this country, if you don't have more than 2,000 Twitter followers, no one gives a fuck what you think.
Right. Hey, and let me tell you, this podcast, not a big reach. But if you share it,
I plan on sharing it. I know Hunter's going to share it. If you're listening to it and you like it, you should share it too.
We can get Chad's message out there because I think that is very true. A lot of people don't understand just the everyday life and struggles of trying to go to school, trying to better your life with these debilitating conditions.
I'll throw this out there. Most people are shocked by this when I tell them, but I can't get married. We talk about marriage equality in this country. As a person who is on disability, if I get married, I lose my benefits. Mm-hmm. That's just I would have to marry someone who makes no money.
Oh, I thought you meant a lot of money. Okay, my bad.
No, I would have to marry someone with almost no money to keep them. Because when you get married, my benefits, what is mine becomes ours, and it would automatically bump myself above
income,
it. Yeah, and they say it's meant, well, if you get married, why would you need disability? And here's the thing, disability isn't that much. It's meant to keep disabled people from reproducing. Right. It's meant to keep there from being more people created into the system that don't pay into the system. Right. It's eugenics. It's wrong. And most people don't even know it's a thing. Right. That I can't get married, that your average person on Social Security disability isn't afforded marriage equality. Right. It's bullshit, and most people don't even know it exists.
It's forcing them to gold dig if they want to find love, which will not be real love.
I would caution against
gold digging.
I would caution against putting that fine a point on it because it is a situation where you need to find something out there, but it does put us in a situation where I can either find someone rich enough to actually be able to marry me,
right,
or I have to tell a woman who would love me that, hey, I love you, I want to spend my life with you, but we can't get married. I can't marry you. And I think that's heartbreaking, and it's awful. Like it's
definitely not a good icebreaker.
It certainly isn't. And when you start adding those things up, you just kind of go through life feeling a little bit less than human. I really think that we need a disabled Bill of Rights in this country. We need a civil rights movement for people with disabilities.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. And not to say that there hasn't been great. The only thing that comes to mind is ramps, and I can't really speak on much. But also. I'm not trying to shift blame on this one. I'm actually trying to think of advancements for disabled and handicapped people.
I mean, the Americans with Disability Act exists.
Yes,
but the only time you.
That's what I was looking for.
Don't worry, buddy. I got you.
Speak up quicker.
I was gonna let you drown with it for a minute.
You're like, ramps. I don't.
Ramps.
Yeah, there's wide couches at the movie theater. I don't know.
You guys aren't gonna believe this, but on the buses, when you pass a street and it announces what street you're on.
I thought that was just for me.
I thought I was the only one that could hear that. That's not the voices in my head.
I thought that was in my earbuds. I thought it was my phone.
God damn it.
But yeah.
No,
besides the American.
Well, the Americans with Disabilities Act doesn't even quite work the way we want it to anyway. Like, we have to fight and scratch and claw to get what we need.
Right.
Even with it. Which is also why I got so fired up about like anti-maskers being like, well, the Americans with Disability Act says that I don't have to wear a mask. I can do whatever I want. I was just like, that was the closest I've ever come to just like randomly punching people in public. If I was ever like around anybody going, well, the Americans with Disability Act says, I would immediately just turn into Hulk Hogan, give them the you.
And with a cane, it would have been so much more fun. Daredevil, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
If Daredevil was more vigilante, that would have been Chad Schultz in COVID times.
Here's the thing. I want to get a GoFundMe together to buy me a Daredevil outfit so I can just run around Grand Rapids and beat up criminals. And by beat up criminals, I mean probably just fall over.
I was going to say, are you going to get?
I don't know who I'm going to fight.
Are you going to gain the agility and athleticism that comes with?
I'm hoping the costume I'm hoping that's sold with it. Like
costume also comes with amazing strength.
A
great
radar
hand
sense, a black belt in judo. You telling me that isn't included with it? The costume costs about $2,000. Is that just for the leather craftsmanship? Bullshit. How about better come with superpowers?
I thought that was for the authenticity. My bad. You're very right. Could be for the powers. So, do you have an idea? Maybe. I mean, no one really does. When do you know when the lockdown, the second one, was supposed to end, or it's being elongated? Is it not?
We are supposed to possibly be open December 19th, but I don't suspect that's going to be the day anything opens back up.
Right. It's a sad time, especially for people who run open mic shows. I mean, all shows, duh. Yeah. And I only know from my perspective, hosting that Parrots open mic and doing Fulton Street on whatever night it is I can. But just doing all the open mics, like besides just the ability to do comedy, the social setting
absolutely
is like the best part about comedy. Honestly.
It saved my life. I mean, my best friend Trebuchet brought me here tonight. I met him through comedy. I've met some of my very best friends, through this Trebuchet. But it really, I miss it, and I miss the creative outlet. Like it's
therapeutic.
It really does. I went over 9 months without getting on stage, and I really, the first time I got a mic back in my hand and I was on stage, talking about how she said fertilized. It really. It felt like a part of myself that I hadn't really visited in a while was back, and I really can't wait until it's something we can begin doing every week. We got 2 Monday Comedy Manias. They were amazing. We don't know when we'll be back, but we know that we'll be back. And we hope that, we can keep kind of going this magic, place going in Grand Rapids. I think we have the best mic in Grand Rapids.
Dude, yeah, ton of fun, a super open space.
It really is. I think it's a good mic for the boys because we get to hang out, we get to try new shit.
Right.
It's a place where we can all kind of play around with each other. It's not too serious, but I think it's also really there's always something different going on. Audiences there have a great time.
Right.
I cannot wait to be back whenever that is, and I hope that with the vaccine coming out that it'll be soon. We're probably talking 5-6 months honestly before things.
Whatever. Soon is such a subjective term.
Isn't it? We've been talking about when things get back to normal for almost a year now.
Yeah.
And we're still
so
half a year off at best. You remember when people were making bread?
Yeah, that was I think April.
Yeah. Man.
Died off in June.
Yeah, as soon as those fucking stimulus checks ran out, everybody ran out of bread money.
Yeah, no. As soon as the stimulus checks came, they're like, "All right, we can shop for a little bit. I don't have to stick around in this stupid house making bread all day. I can go buy some bread, spend some bread." And then they're like, "All right, y'all got any more of them monies?
Y'all got any more of them bread?
I need more bread. I don't want to make my own." And that's been the stimulus checks. I'm also still waiting for another. Hopelessly waiting.
Me too, man. I'm drowning in debt over here. It's hard to make less than 108. I make less than 800 a month on my monthly check, and it's hard to make that last any month, much less when fucking COVID shit's going on.
Right.
Everything's through the roof.
Exactly, and you can't go out and socialize to barter.
No, exactly. There's no bartering. Issue. I can't work above the table, under the table.
Right.
And it's what am I gonna barter? Like I tell jokes for a living. If I don't get paid to do that, like
fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. What am I? You gonna pay me to come tell jokes to you and your 2 dogs?
I'll do it. But...
Oh, absolutely. I'm a whore. I will take any gig.
More than gladly.
I will absolutely. I 100%. We all have prices, and mine is low.
Mine is very low.
And I will 100% talk about how fucking Four Loko is like fucking assault rifles to you and your parakeet if you're willing to pay me to do it.
Hey, a show is a show. How much are you paying me? I have no dignity.
Yeah, exactly. I am here to survive. Dignity. I will have dignity when I can afford it.
Right, and dignity is a luxury. Thank you.
Dignity in an empty sack is worth an empty sack.
So, Chad, I know you said your ultimate goal. This is always my last question, but you had said it already. Basically, that your ultimate goal is obviously. What we all want to do in comedy or in show business, Showtime, what we all want to do is, at brass tacks, make it, rich and famous. But for the platform, and your platform specifically, which is very endearing, to educate.
Yeah.
And is now, all right, that seems a little too altruistic. Any ulterior motives? What do you want for yourself? Hookers?
I would like money and pussy.
Okay, yeah.
And I won't lie, but I'd also like to make a difference.
Right.
I'll tell you what. I will tell you my favorite open mic story.
Please.
On my 3-year anniversary of doing comedy, I had just gotten done. It was a decent set at Hump Day Hilarity. I felt medium for me, but I walk outside on the patio and there is this giant 6'6" guy standing above me.
How come everyone is so giant to you?
I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with the squinting. I'm 5'10". I don't think the depth perception does that, but I could be wrong. But
everyone looks at you.
This big guy standing above me, and he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey man, I wanted to say thank you." And I was like, "For what?" He's like, very very humble. For what, dude? Right. What did I do? He goes, I don't know if you can see or not, but I have hearing aids in my ears, and I go to work a lot, and my work friends, make jokes about me, and I never know if it's okay or not and what to think. And he said, I worry about it a lot. And then you got on stage, and you made fun of yourself in a very funny way for being blind for 8 minutes. And he goes, that made me feel okay about my disability and joking about it and being joked about it. And he goes, I just wanted to thank you for that, for making me feel that way.
That is awesome.
And that I went home and I cried for about an hour because that's all you. At the end of the day, am I gonna make it? I hope so. I think I'm good enough to, but I might not. But if I can go through doing open mics for however long I choose to and impact people like that,
right,
I'd call that a win. Not the win I want, but it's a win.
It's part of the ultimate goal. Your ultimate goal is to have a platform that to be able to make a difference.
Absolutely.
And if you're making a difference with whatever platform you have, I think that's the number one step, or at least a step in the right direction. And I hope you feel that. But also, I think you might have enabled his coworkers to make fun of him. I don't know if that's a perspective you want.
The good news is this dude probably would knock the fuck out of him if
cool.
he was definitely, if they went a step. I'm not worried about this guy holding his own.
Yeah,
he could have used me to beat them up. He could have just picked me up and cracked me with them.
I was like, oh, and I helped you? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Be like, oh, I thought you wanted my lunch money. Like,
sorry, I had a weird flashback to high school.
Yeah.
All right, Chad. Wait, let me see. How much time we at? Oh, beautifully perfect. Just like Chad. Beautiful and perfect in every way.
Hunter, are you trying to get me out of these pants? Because you're doing a great job.
I figured it'd be pretty easy. You wouldn't see me coming. But
never do.
But I do have to thank you so much.
Is that you, God? Why are you saying those things?
Oh, we can't afford YMH drops, so we just quote it throughout the show. Thank you, Kyle. But I want to give everyone a chance to follow you, and they'll have a chance to listen to you and or watch you on stage here in a second. But just want to give everyone a chance to follow you on Twitter at Showtime Shultz,
yep.
And that's Shultz.
Shultz. No C in it. I can't see. There's none in my last name either.
Great. Easy to remember.
Exactly.
Do you also have Instagram or no?
I use it mostly to follow the other comics and figure out what nonsense you're all up to. I don't really post anything.
So your Instagram's irrelevant.
My Instagram is fairly blank.
Right.
And you can follow me. I'm at Facebook at Chad Shultz, my name, and you can also follow the comedy page at Monday Comedy Mania.
Yeah.
That happens to me. I get thrown off a lot.
It's a new change. It's a new change too. So Monday Comedy Mania, right? At Fulton Street Pub and Grill.
Yep.
On Facebook and at Showtime Shultz on Twitter.
Yep.
Throw it up there. Is it up there? Hot. Dope. See, I can't see, and I'm always worried. I'm not trying to micromanage. Anyways, thank you.
Can't see, always worried, not trying to micromanage. That's also my resume.
Yeah, that should be one of our album covers. You should. I'll give it to you. You can have it. Thank you so much again.
Absolutely,
for coming
man.
Out.
My name is Chad Shultz. I love you, and there's not a thing you can do about it. Have
Beautiful.
a fantastic night.
Roll the clip.
Anybody here smoke weed? Excellent. It's legal now, guys, which means we can keep doing what we've been doing for a long-ass time. Guys, I don't know how high any of you have gotten. I topped myself the other day. Guys, I got so high, I woke up in my apartment, and I did not have my cane. Now, for those of you that don't know, I go everywhere with this thing, which means I got so high, I forgot I had a disability. Holy shit! Like guys, some people get so high, they lose their keys. Some people get so high, they forget they have a girlfriend. I got so high, I forgot my eyes didn't work.
And also, don't forget to follow the podcast and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow on Facebook. Where is this going? The podcast. Not the podcast, just Where Is This Going podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Where Is This Go Po. Follow us on Instagram at Where Is This Going Pod. And yeah, subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Follow on Spotify. We're available all those places and reaching out for more. Thanks. Have a great night.